Hello guys, and welcome to a new episode and a new series. A thing that we think we're going to be doing most weeks.
Most weeks, if we have the time. Most weeks, yeah. So
the Australian DB has just happened. This is the weekly, Formula 1 weekly, so we'll be doing it most weeks, but today we're going to be talking about everything that happened in the Australian Grand Prix thing.
Yeah, well, it wasn't the most exciting race, but there was definitely a lot of things that happened.
Yeah, I quite enjoyed it, but
it was like a lot of things happened, but the racing wasn't the best. Was what my
yeah, like I did enjoy it, but I understand like first we need to talk. We're gonna go through like every team, but this is sort of be what happened really, and Verstappen he DNF'd then. Verstappen DNF'd in a race.
It's crazy. First time in 2 years since at this very track his last DNF.
I know, and
crazy.
yeah, and it like.
An interesting DNF, but I didn't really, it looked like an engine, but it was actually brakes. And if you saw, I don't know if you saw this, but like as he was coming into the pits, like his brakes just exploded into like a...
Yeah, I saw that. Like there was so much black smoke when he came in, like...
Yeah, crazy.
But I did see some smoke coming out of his car, and I didn't want to, I didn't think it like be an engine thing or like anything would be wrong because they've just been so dominant.
And when he came into the pit, said like do some magical fixing and they'd be back into the race and then win it somehow.
Yeah, but his whole thing was on fire, so... But yeah he did on like lap 3, so that left the door open to the rest of the pack. Sainz, who started in second, was now leading the race.
I think the big thing was Carlos Sainz managed to get past Verstappen because he was making a few issues with his brakes before, but not before he actually started going really slowly. So that held up like Norris and stuff behind, which gave him like just over like a second's gap. So they didn't have to worry with the DRS, which helped them.
Yeah. And so and Perez, the other Red Bull driver, was quite far down the grid after receiving a 3-place grid penalty in qualifying. So
that was quite crucial actually, because he could have been like he could have been the one into the lead, but he got stuck behind Russell, I believe, for a long time. And as you know, they're really, really slow, so it's like being stuck behind a back marker. You just lose so much time.
Yeah, like I say, if he didn't have that 3-place grid penalty, maybe there would have been a battle for the lead, but there wasn't really a battle for the lead. Like
at that point, there's a couple of people who could have won who would have overtaken the lead of the championship. If Leclerc won, he would have overtaken the lead of the championship. Well, Perez as well, he could have.
Yeah, but then Lewis Hamilton, who had an awful qualifying, getting knocked out in Q2, Finn put him down as Finn's biggest surprise, and he would get second place in our predictions. So go and check those out. But
I also put Verstappen as a win, which the first time I've done it this year, and the first time, of course, I fail. Maybe if I want a competitive championship, I'll just give Verstappen every time. Surely, like it has to go wrong at some point. So I might get an interesting championship if I do that.
Yeah, but Lewis Hamilton had an engine failure. Not that really like he wasn't at the moment. He wasn't.
Luke or anything. He just kind of stopped.
Yeah. But yeah, and that brought out the virtual safety car, did it not?
Yeah, Alonso benefited from that.
Yeah, but everybody. So most people started on the mediums, and
I think it's really early.
they pitted so early. The mediums are not good. I'm on the hard tyre now. This was the tyre of the weekend. They all wanted to be on that hard tyre. So much better than everything else. So they pitted. Some people pitted like laps 7 and 8 on the mediums, but Alonso, Aston Martin, they really flew quite long on the tyre bonds, and it worked out. There was a safety car. That's a safety car, so it didn't help it much, but he still got a really big advantage from it. So yeah.
Yeah, that was the one, like, well, there was a virtual safety car at the end as well, but that was like the one main one. But yeah, there wasn't many like incidents, which was quite surprising. It's Australia. I expected loads of drama. I said there'd be loads of safety cars. Obviously, wasn't, but you know.
Yeah, well, that's we said it worked out for Alonso good, but in the end, he got a 20-second time penalty, wasn't it?
Yeah, he was braking unnecessarily early, and that like way before he should have been braking, and that put him in quite a lot of trouble because that caused Russell to hit the wall and then bounce back onto the track. And he was right in the middle of the track. Like, they really should have just red flagged the end of it. But yeah.
Yeah, and then his wheel like bounced him, so he was like sort of sideways. But yeah, that was on the last lap, so Alonso went down. But really not a good day in the office for Mercedes. 0 points scored. Hamilton looking really bad. Like.
Yeah. Like, those are the real main points of the race. That's like the main like incidents that happened.
Yeah, so I say now, let's talk about like every team and just see how they're going. Now, I want to start with Ferrari, and I want to bring something up, Finn. Is Sainz better than Leclerc? So we know that Hamilton is going to Ferrari in 2025, and he's replacing Carlos Sainz. But should he be replacing Leclerc? Is Sainz better than Leclerc? What do you think about it, Finn?
Well, from this season, he is. He beat him in Bahrain. And he's beaten them today, obviously with that win. I think it's very close, like, I don't think there's much in it. Like, I'd say Leclerc's a better qualifier, but then again, I don't think he's that much better that the Ferrari would have made, like, a horrible mistake by, like, not signing him back on, but he is a very good driver. The way Hamilton's driving, I would still rather Sainz in that car, to be honest.
Yeah, but yeah, so Sainz absolutely doing amazing. Finn put him down as the big stop. It did not. He's won a race, P3 in Bahrain, wasn't it? And then obviously in Saudi he couldn't race, but that wasn't his fault. But he won a race, and he was sick the race before. Like I didn't think he was going to do amazing this race because he obviously didn't race in Saudi, but.
Yeah, like he said, he was like still like really sore after qualifying.
Yeah, but so it leaves him without a seat for the 2025. Where do you see him going, Finn? Like,
I think he will go to Mercedes. I just can't see anywhere else that would get him in. McLaren are stocked up. I don't think he'd go to Aston Martin. And Mercedes, and I don't think he's going to go to Red Bull the way Perez is honestly doing quite good at the moment. So I do think Mercedes is the most likely option.
But I don't think Mercedes are going to get Sainz. I just...
Well, where would it go? It's either that or Kick Cyber, who, as we know, can't even do a pit.
Yeah, well, we'll talk about that later more. But... I'd say maybe Aston Martin, maybe Alonso might retire soon, Finn. Like, I know it's sad to say, Finn, but I don't know. And like, I was thinking about Sainz maybe going to Red Bull, and then we've heard all the stories about Verstappen and maybe going to Mercedes. I don't know why he'd want to go to Mercedes, to be honest, but
yes, absolutely no idea why I'd want to go to Mercedes, like, literally, like, could barely get in the points, so, like, I'm battling Haas or something like that. That's all.
Yeah, so... But it is pretty bad for Sainz because he's doing really well, helping his teammate Leclerc, but that he's getting replaced. But yeah, but brilliant day in the office for Ferrari.
The driver, him, Perez, and Verstappen have been the only drivers who have won in the past two and a half years or something like that. There's only 3 drivers to win. It's been a long time.
Yeah, so really good day in the office for Ferrari. 1, 2, really close in the standings now with Sainz and Verstappen, and even in the constructors too. I said we've talked about Red Bull quite a lot, but is there anything else you really want to say about Red Bull, Finn?
Not really, but I would like to say, Perez didn't look great today.
Well,
he didn't look like there was a point in the race where I was worried that he was going to catch up, but then as soon as he got past Alonso, he couldn't even get away from Alonso. Even Russell was able to get away from Alonso at points when he was before the VSC and stuff like that. He didn't look amazing. And then he looked a bit lost without Verstappen leading the way.
Yeah, I thought he was going to, really catch up Perez, but then, as you say, as soon as he overtook Alonso, he just lost all of his pace, and obviously Verstappen had a problem with his car, so maybe Perez had a problem, but it didn't seem anything. It just seemed that it really fell off, and yeah, and you could ask questions, if Verstappen can win every week, so when Verstappen is out, should Perez not be, trying to win,
Yeah, I don't know, maybe this track was just a bit of a bad track, but they did look good in qualifying and all, and Perez looked good as he qualified third, and, qualifying's not a strength, so it is a bit worrying that he, couldn't catch up to the McLarens and the Ferraris, who were battling each other at that point as well, they weren't,
Yeah.
Didn't like Perez did.
Well, anyway, let's go on to my team then. McLaren and Lando getting in our podium in 3rd and 4th. Excellent for McLaren. But their strategies, Finn. What do you want?
Yeah, it was a good day for Lando and Oscar, but for McLaren, I don't know what they were doing with their strategies. I just, why would you? If you were going to pit Piastri first, you knew he would undercut Norris. What's the point if you're just going to let the cars, go past anyway? Because Norris was ahead of Leclerc. He could have literally been in second, potentially fighting for first, because there was a point in the race where Leclerc called up to Sainz, but the Ferrari just said, no fighting. So that could have been Norris who called up to Sainz, and he could have been fighting with Sainz for the win, but, McLaren's strategy really screwed him over.
Yeah, and also when Norris was in 3rd, and Leclerc was in 2nd, he was coming round at the final pit stops, and Lando was cutting Leclerc so much. Leclerc decided to come in, but then McLaren decided to stay out, and it didn't really work for them staying out. It just lost them more time.
Yeah, it's really silly.
If they were catching somebody, would they not want to go sort of the same strategy?
I think McLaren were on for a win here today, and they screwed it up. Unfortunately, they had definitely chances to win that race.
Yeah.
Maybe second, maybe not a win, but second after being the target there, you can't come third and 4th.
And a lot of
calls today, a bit silly.
A lot of unhappy Australian fans for Piastri when McLaren made.
I think that was understandable, but that was because they let Piastri undercut him in the first place. So it just caused way too much problems that they had to sort out near the end of the race. Norris finished like 10, 12 seconds ahead of Piastri, so he was faster. He was going to overtake. It was the right decision. But, like, I just don't understand their strategy today.
Yeah, now going on to Mercedes, and we've already talked about them, and Mercedes, sort of his team, so Finn's not amazingly happy, but, 0 points, Lewis Hamilton with an engine failure, but even without that, like, it still wasn't looking good.
No, it wasn't. I think they were fighting for like 9th, 8th, 7th, maybe a lucky 6th, who knows, but really wasn't. They looked so slow, and Hamilton and Russell both said this when Perez went past. They were like, that car is an absolute rocket ship, and Perez, if you remember, wasn't even that fast today.
Mm-hmm.
He made the Mercedes look so slow, and like they were battling with Stroll, like in an Aston Martin. He's probably that Aston Martin's probably a better car. It's just Stroll's rubbish. Really bad.
Yeah, Lewis Hamilton getting knocked out in qualifying. Russell outbeating them quite a lot. Lewis Hamilton really struggling in that Mercedes car, and then Russell with the crash, which was sort of Alonso's fault. So, but yeah, not looking good for Mercedes. They're gonna have to turn it around. But going on to Aston Martin now, it's just sort of seems like it's always the same for Aston Martin. Like, not too good, like battling for like podiums or wins at the moment, but not like that bad either. Just sort of like always in the points.
Yeah, Stroll, he did beat Alonso today. Obviously, that was just because of the penalty. But like, I think Stroll had he was having a pretty quiet race, pretty a clean race, no big incidents. He was just driving his own wee race. Alonso probably had a wee bit more to do. Obviously got that penalty, but they just didn't look that quick, did they?
No.
Not bad with Mercedes, but still not great. Like, it's just a bit mediocre at the moment.
Yeah, totally agree. So let's go on to talk about Williams. So a lot happened in Williams. In pre-practice 1, Albon had that big fuss which damaged the chassis of the car. Williams being Williams, not having a big budget, they didn't have a third chassis there, and the Albon one couldn't get repaired. That was sent back to the HQ. So the team decided to Albon to take Sargent's car, and Sargent wouldn't race. So sad for Sargent. He didn't really do anything wrong, but he didn't end up racing.
Yeah, I mean, he did look quite quick this weekend. That's the unfortunate thing. Well, he didn't look quick, but he looked like pretty much matching Albon, maybe a little bit slower, but I just don't understand. They were obviously, they didn't have a third chassis, and I think they're still going to go without having third chassis for the next couple races, because they're trying to cut down costs so that they can develop more near the end of the season. Like, surely you would think that you use your brain and maybe bring the third chassis for like street races, and maybe like don't bring them for like normal races.
Yeah, but the thing is, they're not going to have a third one for Japan or China, if I'm correct.
No, but those tracks, like you can it's hard to see where they can actually have a giant crash where the whole car is wrecked, if you know what I mean. But like Australia, with the walls the way they are and all that, and also I just don't, that's just, like, I do love James Wiles, I like what he's doing there, but like, I don't think they should be asking Sargent to have to pay for Albon's mistake in the end. It was his mistake. He should be the one that's paying for it.
Yeah, and
his team didn't do anything wrong.
And in the end, it was for Williams to try and get a point, but in the end, Albon didn't even get a point. So he got 11.
He couldn't get points. It wasn't even that. It was hard. Like, there was plenty of opportunities and plenty of spaces for lower teams to get points, as Haas have shown, and we'll talk about that later, obviously. But, like, I think Albon probably should have driven a better race today. I don't know, maybe it's just Sargent's car. Maybe they've just made Sargent's car rubbish and given Albon all the good parts, and that's why the Williams wasn't that great today.
Yeah, and I think Albon could have even possibly got into Q3, but he didn't go out again at the end.
It's I feel for Logan, like, that's another race where maybe he could have got a point or something like that, and we'll never know, and that could have been, like, the race that really, like, he showed his true potential. And, like, the thing is, the reason Logan Sargent is still here, is still with the team, is because of his potential, you know? It's not because of his results last year, it's because of his potential. And surely, if you're keeping a driver because of his potential, you want him to grow, he should be the priority. He should be the one getting the most laps in, just to try and see if they can unlock anything.
Like, I don't even see why Sargent is still out of Williams, like, but I sort of, do you not sort of see where Williams are coming from? Like, there's not really any high chance of Sargent getting a point. Albon, there's maybe quite a higher chance, and money is crucial for Williams, you know, every little point matters, and...
Yeah, but it's Albon's mistake, he should be the one that pays for it. If it was the other way around, nothing would be done about it. Logan Sargent would be missing the race anyway, so either way, like, Williams are just going to favour Albon anyway, and that is Albon's mistake. And I think if Sargent made that crash, everyone would be going on about, oh, he's so silly. Surely the team would have told them all to be really careful because they've only got two chassis and he's only gone and binned it anyway. But with Albon, it's like, oh, well, he's fast, so, you know, he gets a pass, you know?
Yeah, well, let's go on to Visa Casa RB, and a brilliant result for Yuki Tsunoda today.
Yeah, Tsunoda, really good to get into Q3, remember, he was looking really fast. It was a really solid race, a pretty quiet race, I'm pretty sure, but, like, I think, what was it, did he get 7th place?
I think he got 7th, yeah, he got 7th.
We'll put them all the way up to 6th now, and Haas in 7th with 4 points. So it looks like those two could be battling for a lot of the season, because those two look like the only real ones to get, like, good points at the moment, surprisingly.
Yeah, well, they've said about Yuki Tsunoda doing well, but Daniel Ricciardo not doing well, like...
Well, I think he had a very decent race today, like 12th place, not too far off the points. Starting from last, remember, and that...
Like, I think Liam Lawson should replace Daniel Ricciardo. I don't... Like, what is the point of Daniel Ricciardo being there? What is the point?
Yeah, because it's a team that, like, meant to develop young drivers. Like,
exactly.
Young driver.
Exactly. It's the point of that team is to develop young drivers, but then you brought... Yeah, but then you brought Daniel Ricciardo in.
And he's not young. So what's the point? Like, what benefit does it give Red Bull as a company for him being there? He doesn't give any performance. He's not going to Red Bull, and he's not young. Like, he has to have at least one of those things to be even any value to Red Bull, and he doesn't have any at the moment. Like, he's slow, old, and just bad at the moment.
Yeah, like Liam Lawson, so much potential. Daniel Ricciardo, like, you know what they're going to get from him. There's no like need to like Daniel Ricciardo to say what he does. Like, he's not going to get like I don't think Daniel Ricciardo should be that, but Yeah, so I think we should talk about Haas now. Super Haas. Amazing job. Both of their drivers getting points. 3 points from the race. Absolutely amazing once again, Finn.
Yeah, really, really good job. My predictions are looking ever worse at the moment. And yeah, Nico Hulkenberg getting 2 points today, 1 point last week, and Haas is just looking really good. And I think they must have been sandbagging or something. That team principal must have been telling some lies after when you're saying you're back of the grid and then you get like 4 points in the first 3 races, like, you know, he threw me off, that's for sure.
Yeah, but excellent from Haas. Absolutely excellent drive. And I'm really excited to see what they can do. Like, maybe, as you said, maybe a battle with Visa RB, maybe Williams get some points, you know, big battle from them. And I think this could be Haas starting to go pretty good. But yeah, who have we not talked about? I think we need to talk about kick F1 team in this, in Australia. They literally, it's an absolute joke. What's even the point of coming to the races if they're gonna have like a 20-second pit stop every single race?
I know. I think it's just so they need to sort it out. It's like it's not even funny at this point. It's bad, and then they really need to sort it out. And I don't know what is wrong. I think this might be like an issue with like their cars in general with the pit stops. But they said they were just going to take it easy and they were just going to go for like 5 or 6 second pit stops instead of trying to go quickly and mess it up and get 50-second pit stop. But even then, they had a really slow stop as well. And that's 3 races in a row, and they really need to sort this out because it's just ruining their races. Like they're just going to last every week because they got 50-second pit stops and they're just running around the back.
I don't like. Literally, what's even the point? Like, I felt so sorry for Bottas. Like, I tried put it on that bay, stop his pit stop, and like it's him out of the contestant for getting points. Like contestant for getting points, you know. And I feel like if they didn't have these bad pit stops, I feel like it could be challenging for some points. But they could have sorted out. Like I thought they would have sorted it out already because there was a big gap between this race and last race. Thought they would have sorted it out, but it seems like this is going to continue. But something needs to happen.
Pit stops, not gonna lie. Like they're really, really poor, and like they need to sort it out because they're not very quick at the moment. So they really need everything they can get, and pit stops is definitely not one of them at the moment.
Yeah, but then going on to the last team. Alpine. Oh, not a day in the office for Alpine. A bad day in the office. Gasly needs to watch out for that line. Like he went over that line twice in quali, and then in the race. Like,
yeah, not great. Like, I don't even know. Alpine are just really bad at the moment, and they need upgrades as soon as possible because, like, no points at the moment, and they're looking down like they could be battling for like 9th and 10th with Kick Cyber or whatever they're called. Like, you know, it's really not good at the moment, and like. It's been such a drop-off since 2022 even, where they were fourth best, they beat McLaren, it was all looking good, and then obviously Alonso left, Piastri left, they brought in Gasly, and it's just not looked good ever since, and dropped down to 6th last year, and it could be an even worse drop-off this year. Like, they look like the worst car in the grid at the moment, and that's not where a team, a manufacturer should be. The team that, they have their own engine. They don't get someone else's engine. They are their own team that supply all their parts. They make all their own parts. They, they're not a customer team, so they shouldn't be battling with customer teams. They should be battling with the likes of Mercedes, Red Bull, and Ferrari, who like are other manufacturers who are actually challenging for wins on a regular basis. And Alpine, I don't think they've ever looked like challenging for wins ever since the new Renault come through. Like, you know, you have to go back to Alonso's championship winning years, and that was basically a different team at that point.
Yeah, like they always say that we want to be challenging at the top. They've always just been there in midfield. They're trying to progress, and they've just gone backwards, and it's just like really not going anywhere. They need
like McLaren and Alpine were fighting both very hard in 2022, and it feels like both of them have just gone the complete opposite way. Like McLaren have gone right the way up, and Alpine have gone right the way down.
I know, but
it's crazy.
Yeah, but that's going to be it for this video today, the weekly, Formula 1 weekly. We're going to be doing our predictions video next for Japan. That's going to be the next video out on this channel. Yeah, Japan, so it's going to be interesting. And yeah, and I hope you enjoyed this new series. So we're going to be talking about everything that happened in Japan. And do you think maybe an Ferrari win, but who knows. But I hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.
Bye.